Let's get right into it. Number 10, Cinnamon Challenge of Death. Ah yes, cinnamon. The cozy little spice that turns your bland oatmeal into something Instagram-worthy. But here's the kicker. Cinnamon is basically sawdust in disguise. Try inhaling just a teaspoon of it. Your lungs will react like you've asked them to cosplay as the Sahara Desert. That's why the infamous Cinnamon Challenge became one of the dumbest viral trends of the early 2010s. Spoiler alert, it wasn't just about coughing dramatically for likes. Some people actually landed in the hospital with collapsed lungs. Collapsed lungs from a spice that lives in your grandma's pantry. So why is cinnamon dangerous? The powder is made of cellulose fibers, tiny shards of plant matter your lungs are not designed to handle. When you try to swallow a spoonful dry, your saliva basically taps out and says, "Nope, I'm not built for this." The dust shoots into your airways instead, where it coats your lungs like toxic baby powder, and unlike sugar or flour, cinnamon contains coumarin, a chemical that can mess up your liver if you consume it in ridiculous amounts. So yeah, cinnamon might smell like Christmas, but snorting or spooning it raw is basically like asking your lungs to perform parkour without a crash mat. That viral challenge? More like a Darwin Award audition. Number 9, nutmeg, the hallucinogenic spice. Nutmeg, the spice you grate into eggnog so it tastes like festive sadness instead of liquefied eggs. But here's what no one told you. Nutmeg has a secret life as a psychoactive drug. Eat a spoonful or two straight up, and congratulations, you've just dosed yourself with myristicin, a natural hallucinogen. Your brain is about to go on a field trip you did not sign up for. People who've tried it report nausea, dizziness, paranoia, and hallucinations that feel like a mashup of a bad acid trip and food poisoning. Sounds fun, right? Nope. It takes hours to kick in, it lasts up to 2 days, and instead of seeing colors dance around your living room, you're more likely to feel like you're trapped inside a headache made of regret. And before you think, cool free drugs from the spice aisle, let me clarify, the dose that makes you trip is only slightly lower than the dose that makes you wish you were dead. Toxic nutmeg poisoning is a thing, and it comes with rapid heartbeat, vomiting, and the kind of bathroom experience you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. Basically, nutmeg is like the sketchy kid in high school who looks normal until you realize he's been hiding fireworks in his backpack. Sprinkle it on pie? Fine. Eat it raw by the spoonful? Enjoy your personal apocalypse. Number 8, the Fugu Lottery. Picture this. You're at a fancy restaurant in Japan, and the chef sets down a plate of delicate, translucent slices of fish. It looks elegant. It looks expensive. It also looks like your last meal, because this fish, known as fugu or pufferfish, contains enough tetrodotoxin to kill you before you even finish your sake. Tetrodotoxin is a neurotoxin that paralyzes your muscles while leaving your brain fully aware. Translation, you can't move, you can't breathe, but you're still conscious. Basically, the fish turns you into a spectator at your own funeral. There is no known antidote. Now here's the wild part. People still eat it. Why? Because danger apparently tastes delicious. Chefs in Japan train for years just to earn the license to prepare fugu, carefully slicing away the poisonous organs. But even then, mistakes happen. Every so often, someone plays the seafood roulette game and loses. It's like ordering sushi that comes with a waiver. By eating this, you acknowledge that your dinner might legally count as assisted suicide. Why risk it? Because humanity is addicted to flexing. You don't eat fugu for the flavor, you eat it to say, yeah, I stared death in the face and then Instagrammed it. Number 7, death by hot dog. Ah, the humble hot dog, America's most patriotic meat tube, perfect for ball games, barbecues, and apparently, emergency room visits. Yep, hot dogs are one of the leading causes of choking deaths in children. Turns out, when you design food to be a perfect cylinder the exact diameter of a child's windpipe, bad things happen. It's like the food industry secretly asked, how can we make dinner double as a Heimlich training session? And it's not just kids, adults choke on them too. The smooth, rubbery texture makes it slide down your throat in one terrifying gulp. And if it gets lodged, game over. Doctors have even nicknamed hot dogs the perfect plug for airways. That's not a compliment, that's a horror story. Add to that the processed meat factor. The World Health Organization officially put hot dogs and other processed meats in the same cancer risk category as cigarettes. Yup, enjoying a ballpark frank is scientifically comparable to lighting up behind the bleachers. The nitrates and preservatives are linked to higher rates of colorectal cancer, and let's not even talk about the salt. Actually, let's. One hot dog can carry up to a third of your daily sodium limit. So basically, hot dogs are dangerous in 2 ways. They might kill you instantly, or they might just stick around like a slow-burning time bomb. Either way, you're betting your life on a meat stick. Number 6, the almond lie. Here's a fun fact. Those bitter almonds you see in cooking shows? Yeah, they're not just bitter, they're actually poisonous. Bitter almonds contain amygdalin, a compound that breaks down into cyanide in your body. Cyanide, the same chemical spies keep in those little suicide capsules in movies. The sweet almonds you snack on at the mall? Totally safe. But the bitter kind, still used in some extracts and oils, can straight up kill you if you eat them raw. In fact, raw bitter almonds are banned for sale in the US because as few as a handful could send you to the big nut farm in the sky. And here's the kicker, the flavoring we call almond extract. Often it's not almond at all, it's made from apricot kernels, which also contain cyanide. So basically, almond flavoring is playing a dangerous game of dress-up. Of course, manufacturers dilute it so you're not microdosing poison every time you bake cookies, but it's still wild that one of the most wholesome, Pinterest-worthy flavors has a death wish built in. Almonds might be heart-healthy, but their evil twin is straight-up chemical warfare. Number 5. Potatoes gone wrong. Potatoes, the food equivalent of a blank canvas. Mash 'em, fry 'em, roast 'em. You can't go wrong, right? Wrong. Because lurking in every potato is a little chemical called solanine, and when your spuds start sprouting green patches, solanine levels skyrocket. Solanine is nature's pesticide, designed to make bugs keel over if they nibble the plant. Unfortunately, your digestive system is about as impressed by it as the bugs are. Symptoms range from nausea and vomiting to hallucinations and, in extreme cases, death. That's right. Your innocent mashed potatoes could turn into a hallucinogenic death trap if you let them sit on the counter too long. And it doesn't even take that many bad potatoes to mess you up. Historical fun fact, there's a record of mass solanine poisoning in 1979 when a British school's lunchroom served up greenish potato soup. The result? Over 70 kids sick, teachers included, and a whole new generation traumatized into never trusting cafeteria food again. So next time you see your potatoes growing little alien antennas, don't think, "Aw, they're sprouting life." Think, "Aw, they're plotting my murder." Number 4. Cassava, the root of doom. Cassava sounds innocent enough. It's that starchy root that shows up in tapioca pudding, boba tea, and gluten-free everything. But if you eat it raw, congratulations, you've just volunteered as tribute in the Hunger Games. Raw cassava contains cyanogenic glycosides, which your body helpfully converts into, you guessed it, cyanide. Indigenous cultures figured this out centuries ago, which is why they go through elaborate prep rituals, soaking, fermenting, drying, boiling. It's like cassava is saying, you can eat me, but only if you prove you really want it. The plant has set up so many obstacles, it's basically playing hard to get with human survival. But here's the kicker, in some parts of the world, people rely on cassava as their staple food. That means if it's not prepared right, entire communities can get hit with cyanide poisoning. There's even a disease called konzo linked to poorly processed cassava. It causes irreversible paralysis in kids. So yeah, your bubble tea pearls have a dark backstory. It's wild to think that the same root that fuels Instagram dessert trends is also fully capable of putting you 6 feet under if you skip a step in cooking. Cassava is proof that Mother Nature has a messed up sense of humor. Here's food, but it doubles as poison if you're lazy. Number 3. Honey baby killer. Honey seems so pure, so wholesome. It's literally liquid sunshine, bottled by hardworking bees. But if you feed it to a baby under 1-year-old, you might as well be handing them a biological landmine. The problem is botulism spores. Adult digestive systems are tough enough to handle them without breaking a sweat. Babies' guts? Not so much. Their underdeveloped microbiomes basically roll over and say, take the wheel, Clostridium botulinum. The spores germinate, release a toxin, and suddenly, your sweet little angel is at risk of infant botulism, paralysis caused by one of the most lethal toxins on Earth. That's why every pediatrician and honey label screams the same warning, do not feed to infants under 12 months. It's not helicopter parenting, it's survival advice. And while we're here, fun fact, botulinum toxin is the same stuff used in Botox. So yeah, the same chemical that smooths your forehead is what makes honey dangerous to babies. Adults, enjoy your honey drizzles guilt-free. Babies, stick to mashed bananas, or, milk, the safe food they were literally designed for. Basically, honey is like that seemingly innocent friend who's great company for adults but should never be left alone to babysit. Number 2. Rice, the arsenic sponge. Rice. The most, I can eat this every day and never get bored grain on the planet. But here's the dirty little secret, rice is a natural sponge for arsenic. Yep, the poison that Victorian widows supposedly used to bump off their husbands is hanging out in your stir-fry. Rice plants are particularly good at soaking up arsenic from soil and water, especially in places where irrigation water is contaminated. Brown rice is even worse than white, because the outer layers, where the nutrients live, also hoard the most arsenic. Now don't freak out, eating rice once in a while isn't going to turn you into a Victorian ghost. The danger comes from long-term exposure, especially for communities where rice is the main staple. Chronic arsenic exposure is linked to cancer, heart disease, and developmental issues. Basically, it's slow burn poison dressed up as comfort food. There are tricks though. Rinsing rice thoroughly and cooking it in excess water, like pasta, can cut arsenic levels almost in half. But let's be real, most of us just toss it in the rice cooker and hit start. So yeah, your sushi roll, your curry side dish, your healthy brown rice bowl, they're all carrying trace amounts of a Victorian murder weapon. Bon appetit. Number 1. The deadly cherry on top. Cherries, cute, delicious, Instagrammable, the fruit equivalent of a sundress, but lurking inside each one is a little pit of doom, literally. Cherry pits contain amygdalin, the same cyanide-producing compound that bitter almonds have. Accidentally swallow one? Relax, your body will probably pass it without issue. But start cracking those pits open like you're a squirrel with a death wish, and things get dicey fast. The danger is in chewing or grinding the pit. That releases the amygdalin, which your body kindly converts into cyanide. Fun fact, just a few crushed cherry pits can release enough cyanide to cause dizziness, nausea, or worse. Same goes for apricots, peaches, and plums. Basically, stone fruits are nature's way of saying, enjoy the sweet flesh, but do not mess with the hardware. And here's the kicker. Some wellness gurus online have tried to sell apricot kernels as natural cancer cures. Spoiler alert, they're not curing cancer, they're giving people cyanide poisoning. It's like advertising arsenic as an organic detox smoothie. So the next time you're feeling quirky and decide to nibble on a cherry pit, just remember, your body doesn't see a fun snack. It sees chemical warfare. Cherries are fine. Cherry pits are tiny grenades disguised as dessert accessories.